Hey everybody, this is Paul, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about some rot. So this is a new cutting, and I thought that it was going to do great. So it was doing really well, and then we had some rain, and so it stayed moist here for a while. And so at first I thought it was stem rot, but then as I investigated, it was more flesh rot. So I cut out all the rot, and it's looking pretty good. I'm still keeping an eye on this. And then I noticed all this is still healthy, and what happened is whoever potted this had too much soil. And so I also see this root coming up, so I couldn't decide if I was going to cut it all off here and keep this root or try this strategy first. So I decided that this is going to be a better strategy. I used 3% hydrogen peroxide right after I cut it a couple times. Most people use alcohol, but I've been having success with peroxide so far. So that's what it looks like after a week in the garage. And I think the problem, mainly, the rot was not caused by frost or anything. It was the potting soil was just not getting rid of the water fast enough. So I really wish when I got this plant, I should have pulled out more of the soil that was on it, because I'm noticing there's the more pumice, perlite, vermiculite that I add to my mixture of Happy Frog, just the better the dragon fruit are doing. I'll show you our new strategy here now that it's spring. So we have a new strategy I'm excited to share. But first, let me show you what I'm going to do with this guy. So I think it's healed enough. I probably shouldn't have got the dirt in there. Whoops. Oh well. So I'll clean it out, and I'll do one more dose of peroxide. I'll show you what it looks like once I re-pot this, because it's a really thick cutting, and it doesn't look like it's losing energy from that rot. I mean, you can see it's really thick, no new growth yet, but it's definitely doing well. And this is a variety called K that I will tell you all about in the future. So I'll show you what it looks like once I save this, and hopefully get this rot to stop, because there's a lot of great roots in here. So I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So before I repot this, I was looking, and I think this is a little bit of rot still. So it's really thick and woody because it's been under the ground, under the soil. But just to be safe, I'm just going to cut this out a bit more, because I'd rather not have to get rid of all these roots. So this is just my strategy to save this part of the plant. So it looks a little rot in there, right around there. So it's also very woody. So I think that might save it. I'll try that. And then my next step is to apply some peroxide. Use a paper towel. Notice I'm not getting the peroxide into the soil. Whoops. Dropping the plant. Okay. Stop it. Ugh. This guy is spiny. Okay, so sorry about that. So now, I'm going to do it again. I think I'll just cut a little more, just to be sure. Better be safe than sorry. Just see it. Now see, it's not looking so yellow. That looks much better. Okay, so I think I'll be able to, that should be enough cutting. So now, just get it plenty of coverage. It tends to bubble if it's really rotten, so it's looking pretty good. And I think it's gonna be fine. So let me repot this for you. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. So what I did, actually I shouldn't even keep that on the soil. You don't want to hurt your mycorrhizal fungi growth with peroxide. It would probably damage them. Beneficial fungi. But anyways, I think after I used that paper towel and doused it really well and just kind of rubbed it one more time, I think this is good. It's a little yellow, but my reasoning is, one, this is a very slow, thick growing and robust plant, and I did this a week ago on the other side, and it really stopped the growth. or I should say the progression of the rot. Now, this is extremely close to the core of the plant. I am very aware of that, but in this case, I'm going to give it a shot, and if for some reason the plant gets less plump, I'm going to cut it right here, if I could save it, because I want to save any of these roots. That will really help aid in it to start growing again. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to monitor it. I'm going to give it a 50-50 chance, honestly. But my logic behind this choice is you can see how thick it is. It's just really, really thick and plump, and I expect to have some new growth soon. Now I had it in a 20-gallon pot outdoors, because this is a pretty tough variety, frost resistant, and I regret that. I wish I had it in here. So I'm embarrassed to say, or I guess I should say I'm happy that I finally cleaned out this greenhouse I was using as a storage shed forever, and now look at it. So the garage was great under a grow light, but as it warmed and cooled, some days we get really warm in Southern California, the garage stayed cold in the 60s, and I noticed I wasn't getting much growth even under a grow light, and I expected more. So I decided to take a day to clean this out, and now I've put everything in here, and let me tell you, it paid off. Here's our peg style graft, and it's just taking off. Here's a Desert King seedling, doing well. It's almost 4 feet. I got that in June. Here is Connie Mare. Took a whole season to shoot new growth. It's definitely unique looking. I'm very surprised, but I think it has more epithelium in it. Here's Cotton Candy. So very robust looking growth on that. Here's that K55 from Mexico, Baja, I should say. And then we have Purple Haze back there, taking off. This is, who are you? You are Mr. Wu, right there. I brought this Rosa in, or I think it's Rosa or Red Hiana, I can't remember, because it wasn't really growing. This is Pink Panther, taking off. I applied some diatomaceous earth, if you're wondering what that kind of powdery substance there. And I'll do it again because for some reason the Argentine ants are coming in and they found the sweet nectar, I guess you could say, the sap. And so sometimes I've seen them destroy plant new growth, so I'm going to spray them with some diatomaceous earth mixed with water. I used to use neem oil, but it kind of coats the plant, so I'm going to try just diatomaceous earth and water, because if you spray it off, it will be gone. So again, I only water these once a week. Here's that graft. I wanted to get that guy going. So I have plenty of other varieties in here. There's all the Lisa that we saved from the stem rot. Here's a axe, but Sunta, but people from Wallace Ranch, people call it axe. There's a Robles Red, that twisted one. And I was kind of worried about CBX, or Cactus Virus X, but because of the twists, but I feel a lot better because I've seen multiple cuttings of this variety, and it's a lot like Maki Supa, which gets twisted as well. But honestly, I'm going to probably put that one far away, or put it a little bit away just in case, because I am aware of that virus. So you can see I have so many cuttings here. What is this? This has been Binghoi White. This one is Israeli Yellow, or they call it Israel Yellow at Exotica, so I hope that's accurate. There you go. And that thing was out in the outdoors all season with roots, and it had no new growth. I put it in here a week ago. It's going off. So I can't believe I didn't do this sooner, to be honest with you. I've had a greenhouse for 10 years. But anyways, look at this. What else can I show you that I'm excited about? Here is some new growth off of like our newest cuttings. We got this one, it's Nitzel out of Spicy Exotics just like a month ago, and look at that new growth. Here is Alice Snow. Look at that new mature growth on that cutting. Awesome. Here's another one of Sal's that we got recently, our second visit with him. New growth there, and some others I'm excited to share about in the future here. You can see them. Very cool. So my final strategy here, I think, to make this better is I'm going to get 2 more of those kiddie pools, because I don't want the Florida rot. It's wood, and I think, as you can see, I kind of have a lot of varieties, and I have, believe it or not, some more to bring in as well. So I think kiddie pools are the way to go, and just water them once a week. Even if it looks dry, that is my advice I would give you. Seedlings, I have one small one. It's doing well, and you can see the more mature seedlings do well and take off. I probably need to start putting a trellis on these ones. So that is an update on, I don't know how many varieties are in here, 50, something like that, and where we are. So give us a like and a subscribe. I hope that helps, and we'll definitely give you an update on this. Big bummer, and in case I didn't tell you why this happened, is because you need more pumice, perlite, and vermiculite in your soil. I'm having so much more success adding that to my Happy Frog than just using straight Happy Frog. These dragon fruit, I really enjoy both perlite and pumice in my opinion. Pumice is more dense and heavy, that was perlite, but both are beneficial in my opinion for dragon fruit. All right, have a wonderful day. Dude, it's creepy.